Okay. So Jacob, what's your association with Fitzroy? What do you know about Fitzroy?
I guess my biggest, or most prominent affiliation with Fitzroy would probably be the pub scene. Spent a lot of time and a lot of money in the pubs of Fitzroy. Probably no more than the punters club, which I probably spent a lot of time in.
Yeah.
Meeting new people and new women,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah. And where do you live now?
I live in North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you lived in Fitzroy before?
No, I've never lived in Fitzroy. I think the main reason I've probably avoided living in Fitzroy is I'd probably be an alcoholic within a couple of months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've sort of avoided it.
Yeah. And where did you come from before?
Well, been in Melbourne for around 6 years.
Yeah.
Before then, I grew up in East Gippsland in Sale.
Yeah.
It's about 2.5 hours from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was pretty bleak, man. Pretty dead, pretty desolate. Urban bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, so coming to Melbourne was the best thing that's probably ever happened in my life so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you lived in Melbourne?
I've been here, well, I think coming up to 6 years, so since the start of '96.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
And so when you first came to Melbourne, where was the place? Did you come to Fitzroy?
Yeah, well, my sister was living in Fitzroy at the time, and so I was living with her when I first came down, and she was like in North Fitzroy, and she used to take me out quite a lot around Fitzroy. That's sort of when I came in contact with the punters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the punters club, that's one of your staples?
Yeah, well, I used to hang out there probably 4 nights a week for about 2 years. I've eased off a little bit now. It's, you know, there's only so much you can do in one place. But I've done a bit of exploring in other places as well, but nothing will beat the old punters.
Yeah. In other places in Fitzroy? Other places in Melbourne?
Other places in Fitzroy, like mainly bars. But I guess they don't have, you know, the same pump and vibe, you know. So.
And you have friends?
Yeah, I've made lots of friends in Fitzroy as a result of just hanging out, going to pubs, and more established friends as well, who have been here for a while, who I've met through other sources, like Joe, a friend of mine who lives just up the road. Yeah, and other dudes. So catch up with them when I can. You know, they're all pretty busy and living pretty hectic lives. So you know, it's not always that easy to sort of meet up. But yeah.
And what's the difference? What sort of differences do you find Fitzroy and say other suburbs you've lived in? North Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll use North Melbourne as an example. Seems to be a lot of white trash in North Melbourne, and just different vibe all over. I think, like in Fitzroy, it's I guess there's a lot of different cultures. You know, a lot of different sort of things to see. It's working class, but it doesn't have that real ground hard sort of roots working class vibe about it anymore. I think because it's a lot more there's a lot more young people moving in, and it's sort of that seems a bit like taken over quite a lot. Whereas North Melbourne seems to still have that real sort of hard edge. Sort of a lot of older people living there, you know, seems to be a lot more subdued. Whereas Fitzroy is a lot more, I guess it's more orientated around nightlife and stuff like that. Where a lot of the pubs in North Melbourne probably all close around 10 o'clock at night.
So you reckon people enjoy this sort of lifestyle to live here?
Yeah, definitely. It's also really pretty as well. Like, it's one of the probably more prettier suburbs in the city.
Yeah.
Lots of nice parks, and you know, like pretty much all the streets around here are just lined with really big old trees. And I guess, you know, just got a lot of character, I guess, that it's missing from a lot of other inner suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your sort of best associations? Like Fitzroy? Is there any sort of really good stories you've got about Fitzroy? Like wild things that you've done?
That's the thing, you know. Like I guess I've had a lot of different experiences in Fitzroy, mainly orientated around going out and just getting really trashed. So that's the thing, you know. When that's what it's all circled around, you know. There isn't a lot of stories at the end of it because you just can't remember shit. But yeah, look, I've met a lot of interesting people. You know, like a couple of sort of wannabe cowboys and stuff like that, you know. Crazy dudes.
You said there's lots of different cultures here, you mean ethnic cultures, or just different types of lifestyles, culture?
Oh, I guess both, really. Like, I guess, you know, like initially I was sort of more outlining the fact that people from, a lot of different people from different nationalities sort of reside in North Fitzroy or Fitzroy. And that could be, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's grassroots sort of stuff, you know. Maybe they've just got family from, you know, who've been around this area for a while and it's sort of provided over here. But I guess, yeah, also different lifestyles as well. Like, I guess, you know, there's a lot of spineless hippies around here, and that sort of drives me a little nuts. Yeah, but
where do you think they come from?
They probably come from Glen Waverley or something, man. Their parents buy them a big penthouse in North Fitzroy or Fitzroy and hang out. Yeah, and pretend they're, you know, poor little people when actually they're, you know, little middle-class shits.
Yeah. So do you think the hippies know the people in the housing commission place?
Oh, no way, man.
No way?
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, hey. You know, they've still got an air of prestige about them, which is just totally ironic considering the sort of lifestyle they're trying to lead.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I guess that probably shits me the most about Fitzroy.
So in your the 5 years or so that you've known Fitzroy, have you seen any changes, like good ones and bad ones?
Well, I guess when I look, I used to come down here a lot when I was younger, like in my earlier teens, because my sisters were living up here, and back then it seemed to be a lot more sort of a lot more fringe orientated, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed to be, you know, a little bit more sort of run down and a bit more of a looser vibe about it, where now it seems to have really tightened up and seems to be a lot more money involved in the suburb. People are sort of, you know, cashing in and, you know, making cafes and doing that whole do, you know, and I guess that's a bit of a bummer as well. Oh, you know, for some people, I'm sure it's fantastic, you know. Real estate's gone up probably, you know, a huge amount, but to me, I just think it's pretty boring, you know, because there's so many other suburbs like that. It'd be nice to think that there are a few suburbs left which, you know, really sort of catered for a different sort of vibe altogether. Yeah.
So you think that when the suburb gets richer or gentrified, makes it interesting?
Well, it just brings in different people, that's all. Like, more middle class sort of conservative type of people, and I guess that can sort of drain character, you know. There's not as much, yeah, there's not as many nihilistic freaks hanging around causing trouble because all the other people who reside in the area complain, and so they all get swept out, and you know, that's the same old story.
So why do you reckon that that people with money want to live somewhere like Fitzroy?
Oh, because it's, you know, I guess it's a so-called cool area to live, and it's close to the city as well, I guess, and yeah, it's a good question, eh? Yeah, well, you know, I guess they've all moved into St Kilda and areas like that, so, you know, it's Fitzroy's turn to get a good smack over the ears.
So you see in the future that it won't be an interesting place?
Oh, no, I think it still will be. I think, you know, there'll still be, you know, a lot of character associated with Fitzroy.
Yeah.
But, you know, look, with places like the Punters Club closing down fairly soon, you know, like, if they continue to sort of get rid of places like that, well, it's inevitable that, you know, a degree of character will sort of be taken out of Fitzroy, because people will choose to go elsewhere. And, you know, then they'll move on to a different area and, you know, make that the new place.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's only so much you can stuff around with a suburb until, you know, good places and, you know, good people will just eventually sort of leave and move on.
Yeah. Where do you think they'll go?
It won't be Sale. I just keep saying. I reckon, like, North Melbourne, around North Melbourne, because it's really starting to sort of take off a bit now.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot more recognition. There's a couple of really decent pubs over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years' time a lot more people move over to like the North Melbourne area. Yeah. Cause,
you work?
no, I actually work in Moonee Ponds, which is sort of northwestern suburbs.
And how's
It's a thrill, you know. I'm delighted to be associated with Moonee Ponds. No, it's a shithole, man. Like, a lot of sort of big hair and, you know, a lot of middle-aged women who have divorced and moved on, starting their new life in Moonee Ponds. I don't know what it's all about. It's a very weird place. Yeah.
Do you think it's had its day?
I think it's had its day a long time ago. Then actually I think it's dropped a bomb on that whole area. Just, I don't know, turned it into a valley or something. Oh shit.
So is there anything you understand globalisation? What that might mean? You know, in like your life or Fitzroy or?
That's a good question.
Or is it late too big?
Oh no, okay, I'll try and tackle it. I guess globalisation is strongly linked with sex. I think. I think it's about having sex with as many people from different nationalities as possible, and finding some sort of global perspective from doing that. Yeah. I like that. I'll stick with that, I think.